Welcome everyone to India, Tokyomidtown Toastmasters Club. To club members, as I'm sure you've noticed, we have many guests from all around the world. So this will be a very international meeting. We have a lot of experienced Toastmasters from all around the world. My name is Stefano Spillo, and on behalf of our club president, Toastmaster Ria Araki, I'd like to call the meeting to order. Thank you. Okay, we have quite a long list of honorable guests, so let me get started. So maybe we can get started with our speaker, Toastmaster Nancy Goel. Can you please introduce yourself?
Hi, everyone. My name is Nancy Goel, and I'm from the Gabby's Toastmasters Club, District 92. It's in India. And by profession, I am a certified personal branding coach. I am a speaker for today's meeting. Thank you for having me here.
Thank you. We look forward to your speech. Next, I'd like to introduce our Toastmaster Craig Curtis, who's also taken the counter on. Over to you, Toastmaster Craig.
Thank you very much. Yes, my name is Craig. I've been a Toastmaster member since December 2014, and I'm currently a member of 3 clubs here in Germany, which is considered District 95 for Germany, Denmark, Norway, and Sweden. And thank you very much for having me today.
Thank you. We also have a guest from Germany, all different times indeed. Okay, next I'd like to hand over to our grammarian Toastmaster Sudarshan. Please, over to you.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Stefano. As I've been introduced, my name is Sudarshan Sheshadri. I'm joining you from sunny Dubai. It is 1:30 p.m. in the afternoon, just about lunchtime. I am a Toastmaster, and I've been a Toastmaster for the past 8 years, and currently belong to 3 clubs. One is Leadership Speak, one is Mumbai Communicators, and one is Quantum Leap Toastmasters. 3 clubs, 3 different countries, none of which are my country of residence. Interesting, isn't it?
Thank you. It's great to have another very international experience Toastmaster. Okay, next, Toastmaster Sarab, can you please introduce yourself?
Sorry, is that me?
Yes, sorry if I mispronounced your name.
No, it's all right. There are so many people with similar names. No worries. Hi, my name is Saurabh Tiwari. I am also from India, and I can see a lot of Indians, so it looks like I'm back to India after visiting Tokyo. I'm a Toastmaster for 4.5 years, and at present I'm serving as Division Director for District 18, which is USA, but I am located in India at present. And today I will also be playing some role that you will get to know over the period of time. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay, so next I'd like to, after our trip abroad, we'll come back to Japan, and we'll hand it over to Toastmaster Takamine. Please introduce yourself.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for having me. I came from Japan. I belong to the One World Club and International Club in Japan, and the Atom Club, the Bilingual Club. I have I have the 100 club visits last year in the domestic, in the overseas club. Club visits is my life. Okay, thank you. Over to you.
Thank you. Okay, I believe we have asked all honorable guests to introduce themselves. Please do let me know if I missed anyone. No? We like to move on to the meeting. And today's special meeting, as our Toastmaster of the day is a guest, which is a pretty unusual, but it'll be add a lot of variety and new inputs to our club. So it's something that I'm really looking forward to. So I'd like to hand it over to our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Sarab. Over to you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Stefano. I hope I am audible and visible. All right. So once again, good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all the esteemed guests, Toastmasters present here in this meeting. I have got an amazing theme for all of you. Some of you might already be aware of what this theme is all about, and few of you might not be. If you know the theme, if you are aware of anything about this story, I request you to please control yourself until I reveal the suspense towards the end of the meeting. And if not, all I can request is please be interactive, please be active while I ask questions and participate as much as possible so as to make this meeting more lively. All right, so I have a small story. There was a gentleman, and once upon a time, he thought of doing something new. While he was very curious of having weird ideas and he wanted to do something really different, what he did this time is he took a jar and he put 100 black color ants and 100 red color ants in the jar. Nothing happens until the jar is picked up, shaken, and when sets down, the ants start killing each other. The black ants think that the red one is the enemy, and the red think that the black one is the enemy. So you might be curious to know why all this is happening, what is the reason behind the same, and what happened next. Before I proceed, it is my duty to share with all of you the flow of this meeting, and there are more role players who are going to help me to make this meeting more seamless. So first of all, I would like to request the grammarian of the day, Toastmasters Sudarshan, to please come and explain your role. Let's give a big round of applause to Toastmasters Sudarshan.
Thank you very much, Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and guest. I'm assuming there is only one guest in the meeting. My role as your grammarian for the day is to listen to the usage of English language as it is spoken, pronounced, and enunciated during the course of the meeting. And when called upon towards the end of the meeting, I shall present a report which will highlight good usage, which will highlight opportunities for improvement, and overall submission if called upon for the word of the day as well. Unless, of course, the word master is going to do that activity. Thank you for having me today. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sudarshan. I hope audience understands the importance of grammarian very well. And now our grammarian has already picked the word master. So I would like to request word master of the day to please come on the stream and explain your role, plus announce the word of the day so that all of us can learn a new word today. With a big round of applause, let's welcome Toastmaster Stefano, the word master for today.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. The word of the day, firstly, the word meister, we call him or her in our club, picks the word of the day, which is which members are encouraged to use during the meeting. And myself, as the word meister, I'll count the number of times that the word of the day has been used, and I will report it at the end at the general evaluation session. And the word of the day for today is, I've kept it a simple word and hopefully consistent with the theme. I picked the word international, which I'll post in the chat now. And I look for a definition, so nothing obscure, something pertaining to multiple nations like us. This is a very... Sorry, Siri is trying to sabotage my explanation. This is a very international meeting, as we have members from different nations. And if you struggle to find the opportunity, you'll notice that Toastmasters also has international in the word. So if you do get stuck in using the word, use Toastmasters International as a cheap way to use the word. Thank you. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you so much, Stefano. That was a wonderful introduction of yourself and your role. Moving forward, I would like to request the R counter for today's meeting. If it is, I'm not wrong, it is Craig. Correct?
Thank you very much, Toastmaster. The purpose of the R counter is to note words and sounds that are used as a crutch or pause filler by anyone who speaks. And during the meeting, I will listen to overused words, including and, well, but, so, and you know. And I'll also listen for filler sounds, including and And I also note when a speaker repeats a word or phrase such as I, and this means, And at the end of the meeting, I will report the number of times that each speaker, including our speaker and table topic speakers and functionary roles, use these expressions today. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Craig. So I'm sure my audience is going to be careful by using any filler word in today's meeting. Next upon, I would like to request the timer of the day who is going to help me and everyone else to ensure we are on time. Let's give a big round of applause to timer Toastmaster Nanako Tada.
Thank
Nanako,
you,
over to you.
Toastmaster of the day. Unfortunately, Nanako Tada was not able to join due to work commitments, so
Okay.
I'll step in on her behalf and I'll take the timer role.
Sure.
As the
Sure.
timer, I will be using virtual backgrounds. However, my current Zoom profile is a different one, so I'll be loading them quickly as the other role taker explained. But please make sure to check my screen. Oh, yes, I'll be using those, but just give me a few minutes so I can get the virtual backgrounds
I
ready.
can do it if you want.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
If it's not a burden,
No
that'd be
problem at
great.
all.
Thank you so much.
No problem at all. I'll
Okay.
take care of it. Yeah.
Oh, then over to you, and thank you for stepping in. Please.
No problem at all. Thanks.
All right, so can I request the new timer to please introduce the role and the signal of the cards
Sure.
for the benefit of guests and members?
As your timer of the day, my role is to ensure that the meeting runs to plan. So each and every role player that comes up on screen will be timed according to the objectives of their role. And at any given point in time, I shall indicate the elapsing of time by using these timer cards. Green to indicate that you are at about 1/3 of the time through. Yellow is 2/3 of the time, and red is when your time is entirely up. For speeches, I believe the time allocated is 5 to 7 minutes. So you get a grace of 30 seconds after the 7 minutes is over. So for speeches, it will be, the timer cards will go at 5, 6, and 7. So 5 green, 6 yellow or amber, 7 red, and the red stays on till you conclude your speech. And when called upon by the Toastmaster of the day, I will present a timer's report which says how much time has each speaker and each role player taken. Thank you, and back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you so much. This is amazing. This is how we see the power of teamwork and the power of being ready for any point of time doing anything new. So I once again appreciate Toastmaster Sudarshan for stepping in and helping all of us by taking another role in addition to his primary role, that is grammarian. Once again, I request Stefano, because he is also playing another role, that is vote counter. Stefano, can you please explain your role as vote counter for this meeting?
It's a very good day for me because I'm used to being helped, and Toastmaster Naito has stepped in to take vote counter. So again, thank you, Naito-san.
Hey, hello, my name is Ichiro Naito, and I will be doing the vote counter role. So as the vote counter, I will collect and count the votes when the audience votes for the best table topic speaker, the best evaluator, and the best speaker. I will not cast a vote myself, except in a case of a tie. In that case, I will cast the tiebreaker vote. I will not announce that there was a tie vote. To vote, we will be using the chat function of Zoom. So let's practice. Please click on the chat window and select my name and just send a message like hello to me. So please, everybody, do that. Okay, is anybody having trouble finding me in the chat box? Okay, so it looks like everybody can do that. And okay, so thank you. I have confirmed that you sent the votes. At the end of the meeting, I will announce the winner. And by the way, you can also send comments to the attendees, and there was a link in the invitation. So you don't have to send comments during the meeting, you can send them later. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you so much. The evaluator number 1 come vote counter, once again taking 2 roles and explaining your role so nicely. So now I have the last member in this meeting to come and explain his role, that is the photographer of the day. And this is none other than Toastmaster Dice Kono. Dice, can I request you to please come and explain your role?
Yes, certainly, Toastmaster of the evening. I'm the photographer for this meeting. I'll be taking screenshots throughout the meeting, and we'll be using some of those photos for our Facebook page. If you don't want your picture up on Facebook, just give me a shout later and we'll make sure that it doesn't happen. Back to you, Toastmaster of the evening.
Thank you so much. And Dice is also playing the role of general evaluator. At the end of the meeting, I'll invite him and he will be sharing his report about the overall meeting. So before I proceed, let's unmute and give a big round of applause to all the role players for coming forward and making this meeting a successful one. Let's move forward and let's enjoy my story for a couple of more minutes. So I was talking about this jar where we have 100 black and 100 red color ants. I hope all of you know what is ant. It is a very small insect which crawls here and there in our houses or outside the houses. And when put into the jar together, how they behave, this is what we were talking. So this gentleman shook the jar. The ants started fighting with each other and not knowing the fact that this jar is not the entire world. There is a bigger world outside. While it is shaking, not only the creatures inside the jar are doing something to harm the other insect, but it can be something outside. The black ones started thinking the red ones are the culprit, and the red ones started thinking that the black ant shook the jar. Who is shaking the jar, provoking radical divisions and chaos all over? And then a lot of confusion started happening. You might be wondering, what are the other reasons why this kind of scenario came up and how people behave when they are put into a situation like this? I will continue to share more about this experience or this story, but before then, for the benefit of guests and all the members, I would like to explain the flow of the meeting. A Toastmaster meeting is divided into three parts. The first one is prepared speech, the second is table topics, and the third one is evaluations. Prepared speech is a section where a member of Toastmaster International, he or she may be from any club across the globe, because at the end of the day, we are one community. This member of Toastmaster completes a project from the base camp, prepares a speech, gets it reviewed, rehearsed, and then once ready, he or she comes to a meeting like this and delivers that speech. That's how we learn public speaking, leadership skills. We excel on a lot of areas with the help of timer, our counter, wordmaster, grammarian, and speech evaluator. And that's how we give back when the time arrives to help a peer Toastmaster learn and grow. Section number 2, table topic, is nothing but impromptu speaking section. This time, point number 1, you need not to speak for 5 to 7 minutes or longer. Just 1 or 2 minutes is enough. Point number 2, you may or may not be a Toastmaster. This section is open for anyone to come and try your luck. And point number 3, this is the most exciting section of any meeting. It is also called as the fun segment of a normal Toastmasters meeting. So my humble request, don't skip that section and do try your luck by taking a topic and giving your favorite impromptu speech. Then comes the third section of the meeting, that is evaluations. As a wise man has once said, evaluation is the breakfast of champions. And in Toastmaster, all of us are champions. We love to learn, we love to grow, and to grow, we should know what is something new we can improve upon and we can try. In this section, with the help of General Evaluator and his team, we all get to receive a lot of amazing feedback that helps us become better than what we are today. So that's how this meeting is divided into 3 parts. Let's start the section number 1, that is prepared speech for this meeting. Today, I have one prepared speaker, and this beautiful lady is attempting a project from path called as Motivational Strategies. Before I invite her, I would like to request the speech evaluator for my speaker. The evaluator is Toastmaster Ishiro Naito. So Ishiro, can you please come and share the speech objectives for my speaker number 1, and then I'll formally introduce her to the meeting.
So sorry to for the lack of sharing the information. So our official evaluator will be Toastmaster Miyawaki, and Toastmaster Naito is doing a evaluation contest practice.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
No problem.
Maybe over to you, Miyawaki.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, so I'm the official evaluator.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So Toastmaster Nancy Gold will make the speech from her path. Hold on a second. Motive strategies. The project is motive speech purposes to deliver a speech about the experience of building a team to help create and complete a project to benefit the club and developing motivational strategies for each team member. Note that this speech is not a report on content of this project. So it's a speech from her experience. Okay. And the speech time is 5 to 7 minutes. Right?
Thank you.
To Toastmasters of the day.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Taka. Thanks for stepping in and sharing the objectives for our speaker number 1. So our first speaker and the speaker of today's meeting is none other than Toastmaster Nancy Goyal, who is attempting Project 1, Level 4 from Motivational Strategies. Toastmaster Nancy, would you like to check your audio and video?
Am I audible and visible?
Yes, you are audible and you are visible. Nancy, can you confirm if you can see the screen as well? Toastmaster Sudarshan. He will be using the, the colors. All right, thanks Sudarshan for helping us. So ladies and gentlemen, with a big round of applause, let's welcome our speaker for the day. Toastmaster Nancy, what motivates you? What motivates you? Toastmaster Nancy.
Me? Are you asking me, Toastmaster of the day, what motivates me? Well, I would say I'm a self-motivated person who sometimes need a spark. But other than that, I'm all good. But this speech is not about me, what motivates me. It's about a question that I was struggling to find answer to for quite some time. What motivates you? I reached out to this question at a point in time. How did I reach to this question? Let me take you there first. I was handling a speechcraft program for Division B, District 92. We already have a Division B director, distinguished Toastmaster Sauradatta, present with us. Together, both of us, we were handling this program where I was the program chair and he was a sponsor of this program. What this speechcraft program is? This speechcraft program is an affiliated program to Toastmasters International. It's an 8 weeks time-bound program. It's more for experiential learning for the people. Now we tried to conduct this program for Image Management Professionals Association. This is an association of trainers. And this was not a program for 4, 5, or 7 participants. This was a program for more than 15 participants. Since each batch
Did we lose the speaker?
Hopefully
I
it
think yes.
recovers.
Can you pause the timing?
Yeah, I've paused the timing. I will restart as and when she joins.
Thank you. Yeah, sure. Stefano, can you please give her a
Can you
call
hear me?
and inform her she might be
Yep,
speaking?
you're audible now.
Yes, we can. But yeah.
Okay, looks like my internet connection is unstable. Can you confirm what is the last statement you heard?
You talked about it is not a program for 4, 5, or 6 people, some 15,
All
20
right.
people or whatever.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Yes, it was not a program for 4, 5, or 7 participants. It was a program for more than 15 participants. And for each speechcraft program, we can have a maximum of 5 participants. So we needed a group of coordinators who could handle each of these batches. I looked out for these speechcraft coordinators with the help of division PR, with the help of division director, and other resources I had. Everything was going on smooth. I found these 4 participants, 4 coordinators who were ready to handle these 4 batches. They were all good, motivated. At one point in time, when we were about to launch the program, we realized that website is still not upgraded. The ERP upgrade was happening and website was under maintenance. No access to Speechcraft portal at all. And that's when my team of Speechcraft coordinators, they started losing motivation. They started losing motivation to continue. How would they even finish this whole program when they don't have the resources? And that was the point in time when I needed to understand. I needed to find answer to this question. What motivates you? As a team leader for this group of 4 individuals, I needed to know why did they sign up for this program. For one of my team member, Toastmaster Ritu, she was part of Image Management Professionals Association. It was more of an affiliation with the trainers themselves that her reputation was at stake. So her prime motivation was affiliation to the members. And second motivation factor for her was achievement. Achievement towards DTM credit that you gain after completing the Speechcraft coordination program. My second team member, Toastmaster Nagesh, again, achievement is one of the factors for him, but he also has a sense of giving back to the society. He didn't know all these members, but given his experience, somebody who is above the age of 50, he was more in this for giving it back to the society for what he was learning from Toastmasters International. My third team member,
Nancy, we lost you. Timer, please pause the device.
Timing is paused. Timing is paused at the point where we lost her.
Thank you.
Yeah, hopefully it recovers again soon and we get to.
Seems like very dodgy connection. Maybe she can continue without her video on.
Yes, maybe that's a good suggestion too.
Yes.
So I've been looking to try to, maybe. Nancy, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you. I think my router is playing a bit.
Would you like to try continuing with your video off to see if that...
It might be the other way around. If we turn off our videos except for the timer,
okay,
it's probably...
That also might make sense, yep.
Okay, let's do that.
Okay.
Thank you. That's...
Timer, please confirm the last statement heard.
My third team member, you were at this gesture when you stopped.
Okay. The third team member that I had was Toastmaster Adnan. And Toastmaster Adnan was here for status. He is somebody very well known amongst his club members. So he was here for status and for achievement. Lastly, the fourth team member, distinguished Toastmaster Sauradatta, he was also a Speechcraft coordinator. For him, it was more about affiliation since he's also an EMPA professional and he's associated with the community. And second was status. His reputation was at stake too. So identifying these factors for all my team members, I was able to steer the conversations with them accordingly, that why they should stay in here and how they can continue. Well, not just that. When I was talking to them, it gave me a sense of confidence while speaking to them. And they also realized that, yes, we can do it. Understanding the motivational factors is not enough. What other things that matter is ACT, accountability, compassion, and transparency. throughout this whole fiasco, the whole scenario, whenever it was happening, as a leader, I was accountable for the whole team. I ensured that whenever they needed support, I was there with them. Compassion, I knew what they were struggling with. So providing them resources and helping them understand when portal was not accessible, that was my job. And third was transparency. Instead of hiding any of the information, it was important for me to tell them that this is how it is and this is why they should sign up. So to motivate these people, to be a leader for them, this is what I learned in terms of motivational strategies for this project, for this whole program. But to tell you what happened after that, the event was a success. We have already 4 of the participants who have graduated, who are speech crafters, who have already completed their program. 8 are in pipeline who are completing next week, and last 4 participants would be completing somewhere first week of December. This program was a huge success for the coordinators, for the mentors, for the participants, for the clubs who earned a huge amount of funds, and for the division who earned participants who converted as members, Toastmasters, who converted as members for Toastmasters International. So yes, this whole event turned out to be a success. That's my learning, and that's about the project. Thank you so much. Over to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
What an amazing speech, Toastmaster Nancy. Despite having so many on-time challenges, you ensured to give a perfect speech. Let's have a big round of applause for our speaker, Toastmaster Nancy. Before I announce 1 minute of silence, timer, would you like to share how much time did the speaker take?
Sure.
In
excluding the stoppage in between due to circumstances beyond our control, the speaker has taken 7 minutes and 25 seconds.
Awesome. Thank you so much. We will now observe 1 minute of silence for all audience members to share their feedback with speaker Toastmaster Nancy. Timer, give me a signal once 1 minute is over. Thank you.
One minute's up.
Thank you so much. All right, so as per the agenda, we should have the voting for best speaker. I would like to check with the vote master. Do we need a voting because we have only one speaker?
I don't think that's necessary.
No? All right. Yeah, I believe the same, but it's my duty to check with you. All right, so let's get back to the theme. And we were talking about who shook the jar. If you have understood the theme, the situation so far, you must have realized that within a given scenario, people very quickly take a decision and without knowing the actual reality, what they do is they start blaming each other. Here, I would like to take a pause because I'm not a person who always believes in talking. I love things when it is interactive. In the audience, can I have someone who has faced a similar situation in life where you have seen person A putting a blame on person B, however, at the end, both of them realized that it was neither A nor B. End of that sort. you may have slightly different stories. Something very quick from your own personal life. Anyone? I can't see any.
Can you repeat your question?
Nominations? All right. Okay, so the question is, in your life, has it ever happened that you felt that you are the ant in the jar? Someone shook the jar, not knowing the fact that it is someone outside. You started blaming someone inside.
Yes, yes, it has happened. It has happened a couple of times in life where I've apportioned blame to the wrong person for the wrong reason without knowing their motivations or their involvement in the issue.
True. So I believe we all have faced such scenarios. If I talk about my own life, and if I talk a very silly and very old incidents, I was in school and I had very naughty friends. One of them was fond of the food that my mom used to cook and give lunchbox. I hope you all lunchbox, because here in India, we do take the lunchbox along with us to the school. So one fine day when the lunch bell rang, I opened my lunchbox and I saw it is empty. And it is empty in a way that someone has eaten all the food which was packed by my mom. I was very angry. I went to this friend of mine and I kind of started blaming him. You are so bad. You are.
Oops, thinks we've lost our Toastmaster of the day.
Now we've lost our Toastmaster of the day.
Oh, it's connecting back.
Yep, he's back.
Can you hear us?
All right. So what I was saying is, I hope you heard me till the end. I started fighting with my friend, assuming that he's the one who took food from my lunchbox. But after the day got over, the other friend of mine came to me and he said that it was not someone else, it was him. And that's how I realized at a very early stage that we don't know the actual realities and we blame someone else who is probably innocent for not doing something wrong. So life is full of such incidences, and I want all of you to probably take a moment in your day, think about when you have been blaming the right person for doing the wrong job, and what are your takeaways from such experiences in life. If you don't want to call it out right now, it's perfectly fine, but
Is he gone again?
Yes, but I think the key message we all managed to grasp. So
Yes.
I
I think till he comes back, we should just keep proceeding further because the next segment was the table topic. So let's introduce the TT Master and start that session.
I am back. I'm back. I'm keeping my video off so as to avoid the similar problem as Nancy was facing. All right, so as the grammarian has rightly said, I request the table topic master, Toastmaster Toshihiro,
Toshihiro,
to please
yes,
come
me.
on the virtual stage and
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, I'm the topics master. Okay, they can share my screen. Right. Share my screen. Share my screen.
can see it.
Thank you. Table topics. This is. Thank you. Table topics which describe the wash your brain, change your mind. I'm making a short story in a few minutes. I show you the one funny photo. Here we go. What happened? What happened? Making a short story, please. Okay. First speaker is Nancy-san, please. Can you hear me, Nancy?
Nancy, I think he's calling you.
Yes, I was just
Thank you. What happened? Making a short story in the 2 minutes. Okay. Okay, please.
Okay, I'm just wondering what to speak. Let me start.
Hmm?
I just reached home and I realized that something was missing. It was not the usual way we meet and greet each other. It was in such a way that my brother was sitting in one room, my sister was sitting in another room, my mother in third room, and my dad somewhere lost in his own thoughts, even if he was in the same room. That time, I was just trying to figure it out and wondering what just happened. Suddenly, that one person who's always somebody who tells me what is happening, that person came, and she was none other than my sister. She came to me, she was eavesdropping about the whole scenario, and she said, you know what, mom and dad fought again. I was immediately infuriated. I so wanted to yell. I just called everyone out, made them stand in line, just like this. My dad, my mom, my brother, just asked them what happened. And they had no clue. They had no clue how to answer me because they were so scared. When I asked them what happened, they said, then suddenly my father responded. He said, your mom didn't give me a glass of water. I said, seriously? Are you fighting for that? And my mom responded, yes, I gave him the glass of water, but I just spilled the water all over him. And then I said, okay, you are the only one who was left. It was my brother. What did you do? I just picked up the glass, filled more water for mother to spill it over dad. And everyone was stunned, standing there, listening to me when I was haranguing them, I was scolding them. After me done with the scolding part, they were all back to one happy family that we have. And as usual, they were just waiting for me to arrive. Thank you. Over to you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Good story. Thank you. Okay, next one. What happened? What happened? Making a short story, 2 minutes. Okay, next speaker is Surav Dutta-san. Dutta? A difficult pronunciation?
Yeah, tell me.
Okay, thank you. So making a short story, the 2 minutes in this photo.
Sorry, did you call my name?
Yes, Dutta-san is speaking.
Oh,
Please.
okay. Sorry. I was not clear.
Can I start? Timer, can I start?
Okay.
So George fell in love with Jenny. And they met in some God-forsaken corner of Alaska, one of the beaches where no humans have ever been to. So George belonged to a different tribe of the penguins, and Jenny came from a different tribe. It's a classic Romeo versus Juliet story, only that in this case, Juliet was not so much interested in Romeo. So George came on bringing all the fresh fish from the water, trying to woo this Jenny. And this continued for a very long time. Till one day, Jenny finally said those golden words, I love you too. And that's how they started their love story. Things were going fine until one fine day, there were waves as huge as the World Trade Center right off the beach. And these waves came in, and then The next thing George knew was Jenny was nowhere close to him. Those waters, they have swept her away. George was standing by the beach and kept on crying for his Jenny. And one such day, another tsunami hit the coast. And this time, George was lost in the waves. A fisherman found him and took him to the coast, saved his life, and left him at the coast. George was unconscious still. When he woke up, he saw a group of penguins surrounding him. This was a new group of penguins. He didn't know any of them, but there was one of them that he definitely knew, and that was Jenny. So the waves, which once took her away from him, brought her back to him again. And this is George and Jenny finally deciding to tie the knot, and all the penguins joining them in their wedding ceremony. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. It's a good funny story. Thank you. Okay, next one. What happened? What happened? Making a short story in 2 minutes. Okay. This speaker is Dai-san. That's Kono-san. Are you okay?
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
So here I am in the middle of an African savanna.
Mhm.
I'm looking into my professional camera,
Mhm.
the big telescopic lens, and I'm trying to get a photo of a cheetah. Okay, I think I see a cheetah in the distance, but these cheetahs they have spots, and it's really hard to see them in the distance against the savanna. So I think I see him out there. I'm going to take a closer look. Let me zoom in. Okay, I think I really have a good shot. So let me ask my partner to see if he can see the cheetah in the scope. Oh, it looks like my partner's been eaten by the cheetah. Uh-oh. Let's see if he likes the camera. Maybe I can distract him so I can outrun him. And that's the end of the story. Back to you.
Okay, thank you. Such a was a partner. Okay, thank you. Very nice. Thank you. Okay, next one. What happened? What happened? Making a short stories in 2 minutes. Taka-san, please. Are you okay?
Okay. Not okay, but
Okay.
okay. Okay.
Right.
I was taking
Oops. Oh.
Seem to be having some
nap. It was
Oh.
a sunny day. In the
Okay, right. Come back.
Oh.
You're back now. You're back.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Uh-huh.
All right. And I wake up in the middle of the dream,
Uh-huh.
and I found myself on a moped seat. It's a black seat, so it's got a little warm from the sunshine. Feels good. But looking next to me, there's a cat. And next to him, there's a cat. And next to her, there's a cat.
Cat, right?
And I find myself Oh, I have become a cat. Okay, what do we do now? What do I do now? Oh well, you know, it's a sunny day, warm day, feels good. Why don't I just keep sleeping, take a nap?
Right. Right.
So I fell in sleep again, and I'm not sure I'm going where I'm going, but yeah, it was just a nice day sleeping.
Sleeping.
And I stop here now. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for the
Oh, this
good
is
story. Thank you. Okay. Next one. What happened? What happened? Making a short stories. Okay. Okay. DTM Sadurashan.
Sure.
Okay, please.
Yep.
Okay, please.
So she walked in. She was looking gorgeous. She was someone everyone had eyes on. But you know how she was. The perfectionist that she was. She wanted to look the prettiest of them all. That particular shade of pink in her skirt, she was not very happy with. She said, I am going to get it shining bright, like the brightest rose in the garden.
Okay.
She saw the laundromat and in she jumped. She jumped in. She swished her tail, got some detergent in, but she was left figuring out how to switch on that bloody machine. She wiggled her tail as much as she could. She batted her eyelashes as much as she could. She tried to make as much noise as she could. But guess what? That was a Sunday afternoon. And nobody was there in the laundromat. The poor little mermaid who wanted to look the prettiest for the monsters ball at the wedding of the penguins could not attend because though she wanted to be international, she unfortunately was left local and hanging in the washing machine. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was the story of the pretty mermaid. Back to you, Mr. Topic.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Good stories. Okay, international speech. Thank you. Okay, next one. What happened? What happened? Making a short story in 2 minutes. This is Ichiro-san, okay?
Okay, where's the timer?
Okay, I'm timing. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
I'm the timer.
Okay. Okay, please.
Okay, so here I am standing at the front of a boat with my sunglasses on. And even though it's a sunny day, I decided to wear my jeans and shirt rather than stay in a swimming suit because it's a windy day. And guess what I'm doing right now? I am sticking a pole into the fish that I just caught. And actually in the boat, there's a big fire. There's a grill where I can barbecue a very large object. So
Right.
I'm about to barbecue this fish that I just caught. And the pole is being driven into the fish, and I will shortly bring it to the in front on top of the coal to barbecue this fish. But what is the thing in my background? Is that a dinosaur? And actually, it's a monster. It's a sea monster, and looks like a dinosaur, but actually it's a sea snake, a gigantic sea snake. And what's in the mouth of this sea snake? Actually, it was my partner who was driving this boat, and it's very unfortunate that he got caught by this big snake. But I'm too busy grilling my fish to save my partner from this sea snake. and the sea snake is actually too big for me to fight. So, well, I have to leave him on his own. He will probably fight his way out and return to the boat to share the grilled fish with me. So, bon appetit. The fish will taste great. Back to you, tabletop master.
Thank you. It's good barbecue party. All right, thank you. Time is remains. Next one. All right. Go ahead. Let's stop.
Should I give the timer's report?
Finish. Let's go ahead.
Okay. So the timer's report for the table topics segment.
Thank you.
So Nancy-san took 2 minutes and 23 seconds. Sauro-san took 2 minutes and 26 seconds. Dai-san took 1 minute and 29 seconds. Taka-san took 1 minute and 15 seconds. I took 1 minute and 22 seconds. Ichiro-san took 1 minute and 48 seconds. All of them have qualified. The Toastmaster, can you take over?
Okay. Thank you so much, the timer and the table topic master.
Well, I think the table topic master will ask people to vote.
Yeah, that's why I was silent. No worries. So can I request the vote counter to please start the voting?
Okay, so there were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 speakers. So since it might be difficult to remember people's name, you can just vote by a number, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6 in the order that they spoke. So please go in the chat box, select me, send it only to me, not to everybody, and just enter a number of the speaker that spoke. Okay, so everybody please start voting.
Sorry, Ichiro-san.
Okay, well, people are voting. Let me return the control back to the Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you. Thank you so much, vote counter. I can see we have 10 members in the meeting right now, including you. So you should receive 9 votes. Let me know whenever you have the majority. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Okay, so following the plan for the day and the theme, I shared my story about how I felt that life has made me an ant and put me inside a jar. How I behaved like I am either the black ant or the red ant. And without knowing who is the actual culprit, I started blaming someone else. There are many such cases in my life, whether I go to office, whether I travel, or whether I go to market. It may be a big or a small scenario. And while having something in the mind that what I know is right, what I believe is right, we not only blame the incorrect person, we also become judgmental, we limit our growth, and we fall in the trap of the situation which pushes us on the backside without letting us know that it is we who are stopping to grow further. You have a lot of food for thought from this story. For now, I would like to request the general evaluator to come forward and take the meeting ahead with the evaluations for the prepared speaker as well as for all the other participants in the meeting. So with a big round of applause, let's welcome the general evaluator for today's meeting.
Okay, thank you, Toastmaster of the Day. Okay, let's dive right into it in the interest of time. The general evaluation session is split up into 3 parts: the evaluation part, the role takers reports, and then the general evaluation by me. Okay, so without further ado, let me introduce the first speech evaluator. I start with Naito-san, right? Yeah, okay. Ichiro Naito, the floor is yours.
Okay, well, congratulations, Toastmaster Nancy, for completing your speech about motivation. And it was a great story about actually success, achieving success in motivating your team. And this was a story about how you overcame the challenge of organizing a team to deliver speechcraft and to how to motivate your team member, the 4 coordinators, which appear to have different motivation. This is something that you found out during the course of trying to motivate people. These people were, I understand that these people were beginning to lose motivation because they were lacking the necessary resources to do their job. I love the way you used your hand gestures. It was very effective to deliver your speech with something that was very informative, maybe a lot of information, but because you looked very animated and using your hands and effective pauses, it made it easier to understand. And it was great. The great thing was that when you speak about people's motivation, I think most people talk about only one motivational factor, but then you made it realize that there may be more than one. So in this case, you talked about 2 different motivational factors for each of the person. For example, one person has achievement, another person had status and achievement, another person had affiliation and status, and so on. That made the coordinators a little more lively, and we started to imagine what kind of people they might be, maybe even identifying with people that we know. So by using this technique, you made it more lively rather than just figures, nameless people. And it was a great speech, but to make it even better, here are my suggestions. This was a speech about motivation, but also about how to make it beneficial to the club, the audience that is hearing. And not everybody in the audience will have an experience to deliver a speechcraft or to organize a team that delivers speechcraft. I think more often people will take different roles, different officers' roles, and try to motivate people how to do more speeches or how to sign up for contests. So maybe you can modify your speech a little bit so the experience will be more common. And perhaps you can explain a little bit more about speechcraft. Maybe not everybody is familiar with what speechcraft is about. It was a learning experience because you explained that it's up only maximum 4 people or 4 or 5 people per speechcraft. This is something that I didn't know. So you might be able to deliver a little bit of more information. And perhaps you can trim down a little bit of your information. It was very packed with information and I really had to focus to listen to it. So great story about success, great way to talk about people's motivation, and to make it even better, just make it, condense your story a little bit. Back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Naito. Okay, so the second evaluator is Toastmaster Takamiyaki. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, so Miyaki-san, the floor is yours.
Okay. So Toastmaster Nancy, thank you very much for your wonderful speech. Even though it was distracted, but you actually delivered very completely. Well done. Thank you. And really liked your speech in 3 main points. The first one, you delivered very clearly. You had very clear voice, good eye contact. Even during the distraction, you kept your smile on your face. That was very good. Very positive way of delivering the speech and clear voice. I liked it. Second point, you clearly set us up to understand the situation. So situation was very clear to us. So we kept focused on your storyline. The third point was, it was very clearly described how you find the motivation factors and set up the motivational strategy for each member. So the storyline was very clear, and the your findings were very clear. So it was very attractive speech for us to keep listening to you. I would like to make a couple of suggestions to make your speech even better. The first point is your opening of your speech I think it can be more impactful and relevant. You started with your speech by saying, okay, I'm a self-motivator. I usually motivated, came to this question about what motivates you, and you struggle to answer that question. But towards the end of the story, you actually found what motivates people, and you explained it. So the opening can be like how you you had a very difficult time, but you also at the same time you had a fascinating time to find the motivational factor, and I would like to share the story with you. So it can be more relevant and impactful. The second suggestion is, we want to maybe the balance of your story. We would like to hear more about how you find those motivational factors and what kind of conversation you had with your members. So maybe wait a little bit more on that point and trim down the beginning and ending of your speech. To focus more on your main topic of your speech. So I like your clear voice, clear situational explanation, clear findings, and to make your speech even better, have impactful and relevant opening and motivational balance of your main point in your speech. But I really like your speech. Thank you very much for joining our club tonight. Thank you. Back to General Evaluator.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Miyawaki. You can add the timers reports, please.
Sure. Mr. General Evaluator, fellow Toastmasters and guests, Toastmaster Ichiro took 3 minutes and 23 seconds. Toastmaster Taka took 3 minutes and 26 seconds. Both are within the time limit.
Okay, perfect. So both are within both are qualified for voting. So please send your vote for the best evaluator to Toastmaster Naito, who's also the vote counter, either Toastmaster Miyawaki or Toastmaster Naito through the chat.
Okay, so please select my name, send me a private chat.
Okay, so while we're waiting for people to vote, let me move on to the role reports. Starting with the grammarian, Toastmaster Sudarshan.
That is perfectly correct. Thanks for pronouncing my name accurately.
Over to you.
Thank you very much. Fellow Toastmasters and guests, it is now time for me to don the hat of the grammarian for which I'd come into this meeting. First and foremost, let me qualify what I'm going to say by stating the fact that we all speak English, but we all speak it very differently. And that is what puts the international in the Toastmasters International program. And we should all be extremely proud of ourselves for speaking this language, which is not our first language, this eloquently. Today's meeting was no exception. I thought each role player was excellent. And in terms of the quality of the language used, was above par for a club which is essentially comprising of people that do not speak English as their first language. The opening, which was done by the president and the sergeant at arms, was flawless. There were no grammatical errors that I identified in that segment. Their Could be a little bit of improvement on the enunciation of words, but that I think is a pardonable offense simply for the fact that we all speak our mother tongues in a certain rhythm and flow, and that creeps into our English as well. Then came our first prepared speaker. Our first prepared speaker also had a strong command over the language. However, I would like to highlight a few specifics for the speaker's benefit so that she can make sure that she avoids these errors in her future speeches. First and foremost, she made a statement, reached out for the question. You do not reach out for the question, you reached for the question, or you questioned. It is one of those. What motivate you? The S was missing. In the title itself, what motivates you is the specific way of using it. What this speechcraft program is, was the question she asked us. The correct way to ask the question is, what is this speechcraft program? Or what is speechcraft all about? That's the way to ask that question. At another juncture, she mentioned going smooth. It is either going on smoothly or going smoothly. It cannot be going smooth because that is an Americanized slang usage, which is not advisable for speeches like this. Other than that, I did not find anything else which the speaker needs to identify. One of the words that she used is a very good word called fiasco, but was completely irrelevant to the context of the speech, because the ultimate outcome of the speechcraft program was it was a successful program. And she said when this fiasco was going on, it is not fiasco. The ideal word there would be fracas, F-A-R-A-C-A-S. That is a better word to use, but even that is not really going to fit into the context of the speech. The table topics were surprisingly eloquent, absolutely clear with grammar. I did not find any issue. The only thing that I would say is that when we write English, we put commas in between sentences to indicate transition. While speaking, that comma comes through by pausing. And that is a feedback that I would like to share, not just with the table topic speakers, but also with the evaluators. We speak in a certain rhythm, and therefore we miss these exclamation or commas or semicolons or full stops in our statements. Therefore, it is imperative that we stop, pause, and proceed to convey to the audience what is your thought process and what is it that you're thinking. Overall, though, I would like to say, though the attendance was just 10 or 11 people, I think we all deserve a big round of applause for having had done our jobs exceedingly well. Thank you very much for having me as your grammarian. Back to you, Mr. General Evaluator.
Thank you very much for that very comprehensive grammarian report, Toastmasters Sudarshan. So let's move on to the Wordmeister's report. Toastmaster Stefano, how many times has people used international?
I think people did, but I don't think I've done my job as the Wordmeister well today. I was able to count Toastmaster Nancy and Toastmaster Tarab, so I'm relying upon self-declaration today. So apologies if I haven't counted you, but if you've used international, please raise your hand so we can give you the right credit. Anyone use it? Okay, apologies, and apology Toastmaster Kono. Well done for using the word international, and thank you for making this indeed a very international meeting. Back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you very much. I just slipped the word in just before I passed it to you. That's an old General Evaluator's technique. Okay, so let's move on to the R-Counter report. Toastmaster Craig Curtis.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster and fellow Toastmasters. Tokyomidtown Toastmasters has a very good international prestige. But however, for today, we've had an international filler word emergency. For our Toastmaster of the day, wow, in your story, you said, so you might be curious to know. And your other statements were, I asked the new timer to introduce the role, so now I have the last member of the day. So, ladies and gentlemen, with a big round of applause, I believe the same, but so one fine day I opened my lunchbox. Okay, so following the plan of the day, For our first speaker of the day and only speaker, Nancy. Well, I would say I am a self-motivated person. She also stated I was handling our speechcraft program. And then after you came back from the technical issue, I was not a program for our 5 or 6 people. And so her prime motivation was, he is known among his members, and he is associated with the community. So to identify these traits for the team members, to understand the motivating factors is not enough. So providing them with resources. So to motivate these people to be a leader. They are speech crafters, a huge amount of funds. So yes, this whole event turned out to be a success. Then for our table topics master, as I normally say in German, but I won't use the German word, perfect. Then our table topics number 1, Nancy. I was trying to figure it out, and she came and said, Mom and Dad fought again. Table topics number 2, Saurav. So George fell in love with Jenny. So George came on bringing fresh fish from the water. So the waves that once took her away from him. Then our table topics number 3, Dice. You started off with so. So here I am in the middle of African savannah. I'm going to take a closer look. So let me ask my partner to see if he can see the cheetah in the scope. So I can outrun him. Table topics number 4, Taka. So I fell asleep again. I'm not sure where I am going. A nice day of sleeping. Sudarshan, you started off with so. So she walked in. She was looking gorgeous. But guess what? That was a Sunday afternoon. Then table topics number 6, Ichiro. Okay, so here I am standing in front of a boat. In the boat is a large object. And it looks like a dinosaur. And then your last statement with the filler word, so bon appetit. Then for our evaluators, Ishiro, you used okay, and 2 times so. And then our last evaluator, Taka, you had 4 6 ahs, 6 so's, and 1 but in your evaluation. The best advice I can leave you with, get comfortable with the silence. We often feel in the silence that it could be pauses with and if you are silent, then it feels like you have lost your place or you don't know what you're talking about. Those beats will help listeners consider our last idea and be ready for the next one. And secondly, take a breath. Take a nice breath. It gives a nice pause to your listeners' ears, but also helps you to relax and helps you to come across more composed. And as you all know, as being Toastmasters, the last advice I can always leave you with is practice, practice, practice. And I'll leave you with this. Yes, when I started Toastmasters, my very first table topic, I had 25 filler words, and that challenged me to come back and lower that number. But overall, a great job today. Thank you very much, and back to you, Journal Evaluator.
Thank you so much, R-Counter. That was really a fantastic R-Counter report. I've never heard anything like that before. Thank you again. All right, so we've finished the role taker reports, and the final bit is the general evaluators report, which I will comment mainly on the meeting itself, not so much in the evaluations. I believe we have a feedback session later. So just to start with, today, the guests may not know, but we had a very low attendance rate of our regular members. You can see only 4 of our regular members here today. So in fact, a couple of days ago, the VP and I were talking about possibly canceling this meeting. So it was really great that VP Toastmaster Stefano got this international group together in such short notice. So it's really fantastic that you've pulled this off. So kudos to you, VP, for organizing this this entire night. It felt like a special event. And also thank you for all those. Everybody has at least one role. Some people have 2 or even 3. Thanks for stepping in the last minute, volunteering when it was called for. I think that really shows the Toastmaster spirit, and it's a universal thing around the world. Okay, in terms of time, I have some comments here. We started at 18:30 on the dot. We started this. Everyone should have the agenda with all the starting times. I think Stefano sent that to you. The speech started at 18:51, 8 minutes over. The table topic session started at 19:10, which was 8 minutes over, and we skipped a break. And my evaluation session started at 13 minutes over. So I think one thing we can say is maybe we want to keep an eye on the time, and each person can be more conscious about how much time they're supposed to speak. So time management is another important aspect of Toastmasters. Okay, and then very quickly on each role, Toastmaster of the Day, really unique theme. I really love the way you broke down a story and told it in each section. I've never seen that done before, so it's very unique, very professionally done as well. So again, it's just about the time management, and when you are low on time, you might have to have a plan B and sort of shorten certain sections to get the flow going. Table topic master, again, a very innovative way to ask questions. I really love that. Showing a picture and just having people talk, that really puts us, on our toes. I would explain the purpose and the rules, like the timing, for instance, at the beginning of the session. I think you skipped that because we do have a non-Toastmaster guest today, and she would be wondering what's going on, right? So that would be pretty helpful. And also check on the time to see if you can add another speaker. I think we were a little bit behind time there. Okay, the two first, and then the role takers. Grammarian, really comprehensive. I just I don't have anything negative to say. It's just that it's just a lot of points that you took down. And as for the R counter, man, I think you're like a human voice recorder. If you memorized all that stuff or you wrote it down. Wow, that's an amazing feat. So no, thanks for those reports. Again, if we had more time, I think it would have been great. And as for the evaluators, I think they're both well balanced, well constructed, and I won't go into each part because I think we have a feedback session later. So all in all, a fantastic international special night. Thank you so much, everyone. And I'll pass the control back to the Toastmaster of the day, Saurabh.
Thank you so much, General Evaluator and your team. So first of all, I request everyone to please give a big round of applause for this brilliant team by giving such a beautiful report and helping all of us know how can we grow and how can we improve. Woo! So my dear friends, with this theme, I have given a very small attempt to probably open a bigger canvas for all of us. I have given a small shot to help all of us how we should not assume things and judge people, and how we can probably mend more relationships, make more friends, and grow faster in life by realizing the power of synergy. That is, two unique energies combining together and bringing bigger and better results. I hope you will take the best from this session, and I hope you have enjoyed every section of this meeting. I am Saurabh Tiwari signing off. Would love to see you all again in some other meeting some other day. Thank you so much. Do take care of yourself. Over to the presiding officer, Toastmaster Stefano. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster, for such a great moderation. So I'd like to hand it over now to our vote counter, Toastmaster Naito, who has some interesting and exciting news to announce. Over to you, Naito.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. Actually, there are people who have not voted yet for the best evaluator. So I will give you 15 seconds if you haven't voted yet, either Taka-san, Taka Miyawaki, or myself. Votes. Just put into the chat box, send me a private chat. Votes. Counting 5 more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Thank you. Okay, so I'm ready to announce the results. The best table topic speaker of tonight is, everybody unmute, please, unmute. Done. Okay, it's the 5th speaker, Toastmaster Sudarshan with a pink mermaid in the landromat. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Hi, congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay, and the best evaluator is me. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure.
Yep. Okay, that's all for both countries' report. Back to you.
Thank you,
Toastmaster
Naito-san.
Stefano.
And now let's have a photo session. Are you ready, Kono-san? We have had one member drop off, but maybe we can have one with the remaining members.
Sure. Okay, so this is the last photo. We typically do a T sign for Tokyo Midtown. If you can do that, that would be great. Okay, hang on for a second. Smile and okay, let me just check the photo. Okay, I think we're good. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Master.
Thank you.
Okay. Again, not to repeat what the general evaluator said, but I really would love to thank all the guests who came to the rescue to our club. We had a low attendance rate, but Toastmasters really taught me how what a great community we have all around the world. So it's been a really great learning experience for me. For club members, I put the club names where our honorable guests came from. So you have the contacts. If you do have some time this Christmas and the upcoming months, please let's try to visit other clubs. And again, to our honorable guests, you're always welcome back to join us. Thank you again for great contribution.
Thank you very much for having us.
Thank you. Are we going to have the feedback session?
Yes, so I'm going to close the meeting now, and if you members can stay, we'll also have a feedback session for Toastmaster Naito. So we'll keep this Zoom session open. So for now, I'd like to close the meeting number 162, Tokyo Midtown Toastmaster Club. Meeting adjourned. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you. I shall take your leave now.
Thank you.
Thank you for
Arigato,
helping us.
Tokyo.
Arigato for coming.